So that's why we have our next speaker, Scarlett, managing partner from Verge HealthTech Fund. So welcome, Scarlett.
Thank you, Dr. Pong. Good evening, everybody. I'm Scarlett Chen, managing partner at Verge HealthTech Fund. I am also a mentor to Founder Institute. So I'm a mentor in the Silicon Valley program. There is a specific health tech program. So I was serving as a mentor there in the last cohort and also in this current cohort. I know Dale Resi is the he's the founder of Founder Institute and also VC Lab and also LP Institute. So I'm actually involved in all of these. I'm a graduate from VC Lab, which is a place that incubates VC funds. So definitely very helpful here to be involved in the network because the FI network is a very wide one and it's all over the world. And once you get involved in the events, there are lots of events, including events in the US, local events, etc. Great connections to startups, great connections to founders, and also investors, partners, etc. So definitely very excited about the Hong Kong launch and very excited to be here to present to you. So I will share a few slides to introduce. So a few words on Verge HealthTech Fund. So we're a VC fund that focuses nothing else but impactful health tech. And we do this at a global scale and at a very early stage. So from the pre-seed stage to Series A. And we invest in scalable technologies. So many of these are deep tech and also digital platforms. And these platforms are usually platforms that can reach millions of individuals. We seek to partner with visionary and passionate founders who are out there to change the world. And now, just to show you what we have done within health tech, we've been investing in the space since 2013. So far, the partners team has invested in 52 different health tech companies from 21 different countries. Many of our founders are serial entrepreneurs. And altogether, the fund, I think, is very differentiated in that we have combined over 100 years of operational experience. This makes us look pretty old, but I think that operational experience is very important for founders. And also we have a impact measurement. So this lives touched is one of the 17 different measurements that we have in the impact space as we monitor our portfolio companies, not just as pure financial investments, but also as impact investments that are touching lives, creating clinical outcome, creating patient outcomes. This is the full team. Dr. Joseph McAnew started Verge in 2018, even though the entire team has been doing investments in the space, since 2013. He started Fund 1, and now for Fund 2 is being run by Joseph, myself, and also Erky, so the three of us. And we cover various different aspects, covering deep tech, strategy, reimbursement, how insurers and payers think about things, platforms, and also a lot of operations as well. The two gentlemen on the right are part-time partners within the fund, and they are, focused on helping startups with operating, for example, how to set up operations. Ed, who's based in Taiwan, is the CEO of Health to Think, which is probably the most successful health tech company in Taiwan, with about 1.5 million diabetic patients on the platform. I am based in Hong Kong, and just to tell you a bit about my previous background. So I came from a finance background, previously investment banking for over a decade, did about $30 billion in deals when I was at Prudential and Barclays. And then I joined one of the largest life and health insurance companies in China as the head of financial institutions group in buying banks and insurance companies for them globally. And then in 2016, I joined Prudential. So this is the UK Prudential, which is one of the largest life and health insurance companies in Asia. And I was based in Hong Kong as the head of strategic investments for Prudential Corporation Asia. During my role there, I was responsible for making investments and also strategic partnerships with startups in the health tech space all over the world. Joseph comes from more of the science and consulting background, while Erky comes from more of the operational background. He was a founder himself, so he exited his company as the CEO at 373 times. The two areas that we're focused on are deep tech and platforms. So first of all, what do we not invest in? Drug development, so biotech is out of scope for us. Invasive medical devices out of scope, and anything that is asset-heavy healthcare is also out of scope. Now, what we consider to be critical, enablers for the future of health is really, falling in these two spaces. So number one is deep tech. That means next generation diagnostics, anything in the AI space. So this is actually a crossover from AI and healthcare. And then the third one is breakthrough smart devices. Now, for the platform angle, we are focused on digital health platforms, digital therapeutics, and also healthcare SaaS. We think about, there are 5 trends which are enabling health tech as an industry to gain adoption. So the number one trend is that we don't have enough healthcare resources. So we don't have enough doctors, nurses, hospitals, hospital beds, you name it. And this shortage really leads to the need for everything to be technology enabled. So we're not trying to replace any doctors. We're trying to amplify the current healthcare system. The second trend that we're focused on is aging and the disease shift from chronic and non-communicable from infectious diseases and also trauma and accidents to now chronic and non-communicable diseases. And these are your diabetes, hypertension, mental illness, Alzheimer's, etc. The third trend that we look at is really healthcare, moving towards health plus care. And we think that there should be elements of prevention and care in the overall healthcare spectrum. And the fourth trend is consumerization of healthcare. And the consumers are very picky these days. They would like to have healthcare to be anywhere and anytime in any place. And then the last trend is really what's going on in the health tech space, in the AI space. So anything in tech, data, AI, and connectivity. So with all these trends, what we're seeing is that health tech is actually quickly gaining adoption. And just to show you some examples, here we put together the continuum of healthcare. So traditional healthcare, or what we call sick care, is more focused on the diagnosis and treatment area. For us, you should go as early as prevention and risk detection and intervention before you actually get sick. And after you get sick, it's about focusing on recovery and also hopefully one day care for the people who are chronically ill. Some examples below. So these can include wellness, fitness platforms. These can include IoT devices or anything that turns digital, analog machines into digital machines. These means digital therapeutics and also devices which can work on early detection. How do we think about assessing investments? So these are the areas that we mainly focus on. So number one is all about the team. Especially at the early stage, we do a very proper assessment on the team, including why are they passionate about this particular business that they're building. We also assess the founder problem fit and the founder market fit. The second area is really more about the business. So looking at the market in itself, is it a large addressable market with significant healthcare needs? And if it's a deep tech business, we look at the technology, regulatory, clinical, and also the business model perspective. If it's a platform, we focus more on the traction and also, what is the unique selling proposition of the platform? Because platform in general has less IP, and it's more about the user experience. And then, of course, business model is key, whether you're building platforms or deep tech. So ultimately, who pays for your business and how do you distribute your product? And then the third bucket that we focus on is really more about the deal. So everything about the terms. You could actually have the right team, you could have the right business, but if the terms are wrong, wrong valuation, wrong sizing, etc., then it's also difficult for us to invest in. So overall, we're looking for all three different buckets. We are also a impact fund, so we measure how we are touching lives. And this is the UN SDG. So number 3 is on good health and well-being. And this is where you can see that our portfolio companies have actually impacted certain areas within the SDG. And these are some of the organizations that we work with in terms of being part of the Impact Investors Network. And many of these impact investors are also giving out grants, for example, or donations or first loss capital so that they can help actually some of these early stage companies cross the chasm. So that's really it on Verge. And I will be serving as a mentor here to the Hong Kong cohort. So feel free to reach out to me with any questions. Thank you.